Hey everybody, this is Zuggle from Pacifica on Thornblade. I wanted to go over a few things on how to use my PoP guide and some of the first things that you should do when PoP hits on the server for getting your charm and preflags that you're going to need. So first, if you have a window selector open, you can go to Storyline or hit Alt-N. If your window's too small, you might not see the guide, so just make sure you make it nice and big so you can see it, or move it around. I keep this open a lot on raids, or have it easily accessible so that I can look up a boss and see their stats. So I'll just break these down one at a time. I've got the what's new. You can see a little bit about what's new in this expansion, like ports, which actually was only added last year to Planet Tranquility for Wizards and Druids. Raspers also has a new gear summary page, which you can go to here. He also just updated the whole PoP website part, so all that's different. You can check it out. New zones, if you go here, you can kind of see all these. You can go to these without being flagged. You just have to be level 46, and you need hedge to go to the Lair of Terror stool. And these are all internal links, so you can just kind of click these and usually get around pretty easily. Spells, you can go to Spell Rasper page for more info, but most of it's all right here. Where you turn in your spells, you have to get parchments. You can read where to get them here, or click here, and this will open up Alakazam in your default web browser, and you can read about it there. But you just turn them into your 1 to 25 spell vendor, and you'll get a random spell. It doesn't matter if you turn in 4 at a time, you can still get 2 of the same one. That's something that some people tried to try on LDoN, but didn't work. New spell vendors in Shadowhaven for Wizards and Druids. You want to get that, so you can go to Tranquility. Speed Focus on TLPs is open now on PoP. Legacy Keisha comes out an hour after PoP. Some pretty good spells here. Blood and Adox pretty much required for shamans on raids. Group Heal or Group Cure. Temperance obviously is great, and Pure Blood and Arias, or one of these, whichever one cures. Ornate Elemental Armor, get these from named and raid bosses. So obviously now we can trade elemental molds on this server, but to turn that in, you still have to go to Boar Warhammer, give them 500 plat, and you get some stuff. You can read about it here, and the things you need, you can go to any of these pages here to read more about it, or just read through this and see how many you need. Notable quests, Aid Grimmel, the big crafting one. Essences of Power, which should be easier on this server since the loot's mixed. Hopefully the orbs drop off the other bosses too. Been Consurentia, Gate Neck. So great if you can't gate, or you just want a second gate. Even if you're a caster, so 2 different binds basically, and they're pretty cheap to make the reagent for. Okay, now let me talk a little bit about the flagging, and then I'll go to raids. So first, look at zone requirements. You can see what you need to do to go to a certain zone. For example, you do a trial and justice, either execution, flame, or hanging, the easiest 3, and then you can go to these zones, and then from there you can work on and then do the raids. Here I've got a little guide on how to get to elementals. Air, Water, and Earth are a little bit shorter, but you still have to kill Relic Zek for both of these to go here or here. But this is a little bit shorter. You also have to kill Nathaniel Mar in both, I think. But to go to Soul Rose Tower, by the way, you do not have to kill Relic Zek. That's only to go to the actual boss of the zone. So what's great is if we do TZ and VZ, HOH and all that, Nathaniel Mar, we can go ahead and go to Soul Rose Tower and start farming ornate gear. Good place to go, because any trash can drop ornate ornaments or patterns. So now for flagging, let's see, PoP flagging. Here's some guides. If you click these, it'll open up your web browser. Fanro, I found on LDoN, was the most closely correct one. So check that one out, and it's what this guide follows. If you want to use a checklist, I've got one here on Google Sheets. Just click it, make a copy, and then you can keep up with it yourself, and it's the same as what's in here. So but still good to have so you don't lose track of what you've got, because it's a lot of steps for flagging. PoP is going to take weeks, and you don't really want to get mixed up. So you want to do a step-by-step and log everything you do, so because it can be pretty complicated. And I've spent a lot of time helping people. Sometimes it takes half an hour to fix people's flags, running back and forth, hailing different people, talking with the seer, POK. It can be frustrating, so just gotta hang in there. You know, key NPCs here. We're gonna go to Graham Dunner in just a minute and get our wooden figurine. And here's tier 1. So in a minute I'm going to show you how to get to this guy, Adler, Firstal. You want to hail him before you go to kill Grummus and say what ward. And also this guy before you do hedge, a Droha. You skip this and either your hedge doesn't work or you can't get in, something like that. So make sure you do that. I'm not going to really go over the other tiers. You can go over those on your own time, but you know, that's how to get to all of the flagging process all the way to time. And even got a little thing here on how to create the Odilic Vial. We just need one for the guild, and these are usually from raid mobs. Some of these are kind of hard to get, but you know, we'll get them just through raiding probably. Next, I'll go over the raid boss info. So I've got all the bosses here, all the events. If you want to look up a boss, you can check it out, see the stats and event info. I don't always put detailed strats. I mostly just leave that up to the raid leaders, but I do have a lot of the obvious ones. For example, if I go to Nightmare Tears Thule, I've got the event info, and like, you know, you should probably kill these for 50%. Gargoyles, probably kite those or off tank. Here for the AE Dispel, probably want to run out of the dome. Not really worth losing all your buffs, except if you're the main tank, I guess. What is very useful for casters, let's check out Tactics, Ralosek. Some bosses, they're, you know, strong versus for certain spells, so see Ralosek, probably don't want to use cold magic. You're going to get a little bit better luck with fire, disease, or poison, so just check that out. You can also see what buffs you're going to need to cast. So for Ralosek, you want to buff fire for this, and you know, sometimes there's ads that cast things, and I tried to add that here too, but just check all these out. I've tested most of this myself on LDoN and Mangler, so pretty familiar with this. Took a lot of research to doing all this, and I'm pretty sure most of it is 99% correct, but if you see any mistakes or anything, just let me know and I can check it out and update it if need be. But yeah, I find this nice to just keep up and on the side. You can also check out LDoN, which comes out in 3 months, I think. So most of these are, you know, much shorter guide here, pretty simple, but there's that. And then the TSS guide, Old Guilty on Mangler made this, so if you want this, just let me know and I'll send it to you. And let's go to POK and do the first couple things that we're going to need for getting flagged and getting a charm. Okay, we're in POK. First thing I usually do is bind. I usually bind over here by the main bank. That's where people stand around to get buffs or MGBs. But this is a good spot too, because it's right near Tranquility and Graham Dunner and the Seer and the Quality Potion vendor. So first thing, just go in here. Good to go ahead and get this before you do any kind of flagging or anything in PoP. Just talk to this guy and say craft, and done. Get your charm, put it on. Whenever you update, you say I have stories, and if you've done any new zone access, he'll give you an AA. You don't need to do that to upgrade your charm. That happens automatically, but if you want your free AAs, then do that. Over here, got the Seer next to the, this is the Cloudy Potion vendor guy. You want to get your Cloudy pots here. you have to sit, and she will guide you. And I already hailed these guys in Tranquility, so I get that, but you can also paste this from your logs into certain web pages, and they'll tell you what you're missing. So she's like the flag fixer if you're having issues. That's why it's good to use the guide, the checklist, so you don't mess things up. You mess things up, it's a pain. And I even had one case where someone had to kill Nathaniel Marr a second time, and I even logged on their account, could not figure it out, and just had to kill him again for that person. So I don't know what they did, but something got really messed up. So on rare occasions, you cannot fix things. The libraries up here, everyone should get your spells up there, especially Remove Greater Curse, Monk Melee Tombs, any other spells you might have missed pre-pop. And up there is also where you turn in your parchments for your spells. So next, just going to go to Tranquility, hail 2 people, and that's it. Okay, so here we are in Tranquility. This guy will take you to Hate or Sky if you need to, and you're not a wizard. Bank is right here. No parcel vendor. Here's Boar Warhammer. That's the guy for, you give him 500 plat to make your ornate armor or elemental armor. So you'll be seeing him a lot, hopefully. One of the ones, if you want to go ahead and flag, you need to hail this guy before you kill Grummus. So let's do that real quick. And we can see if we go to flagging, tier 1, POD, hail and say what ward, Adler Firstal. Hail, what ward, character flag. And you'll get this every time you say what ward, so, but obviously I only have to do it one time. And the other thing, you need to do this before hedge, is talk to a Drohad Jezeth. So that would be here, hail Elder Poxborn. I think you have to do this, not totally sure, but I do it anyway. And then say Tortured by Nightmares, and you should get a character flag. Then you can do hedge, which lets you go to Terrasthul. Okay, done. This is for Torment. You can't do this yet, but just keep in mind there's more people here to talk to. And Plane of Justice up here, you need to do a trial sometime. You just click on that up there, and you can zone in. So that's about it. So if you have any questions, let me know. I'm pretty knowledgeable about PoP, so I've done it a few times lately too. I'm Mangler and LDoN. So if you have any questions, just shoot me a tell or message me on Discord, and I'll help you out. Thanks. I just wanted to add one more thing about Plane of Storms, since it might be different for most of you. It was buffed last year, and now any giant can drop the medallions, and the name can drop 6 or 7 that I saw when I killed someone Eredun. They're not too hard, but they got a lot of HP. But one solid group can kill one. They might even drop more medallions. They might even drop 2 or 3 different types of medallions. I don't know how the server's going to work with it, but if that's true, you could just lock down one camp and maybe even get all these pieces in one camp and not even have to go to other camps or check other picks and do all that. It might be busy the first few hours of PoP. The server's kind of low PoP, so maybe it won't be too much of an issue, but on Eredun, all the big guilds were in and out in just a few hours. They just mass cleared the zones and got everything. It didn't take long at all, and I came here 6 or 8 hours after the server came up, and it was fine. Found a group, found a spot, and started farming these up, and it doesn't take too long. Just need a giant head from any giant, sash, bone, and beard from the 3 different camps, here, here, and down here. And then 2 medallions. They just can't be the same one, and there's 3 different medallions. So any 2 medallions and you're good to go. They're lore, so it won't even let you loot the same one twice. When you're done, go through the caves, talk to Asker, and then you just go to Bastion of Thunder. And most guys say to go here, or wherever the click is in the middle of the zone, but you don't have to do that. You can just go to Tranquility and run to Bastion of Thunder if you want. It might be a little bit easier since the zone in is like right here in the cave. And that's it. So then you're flagged for Bastion of Thunder. We can get good EXP and named and farm.